May I proceed, Your Honor?
Yes.
Good afternoon, Mr. Raleigh. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you. I'd like to just start off and ask you, in December of 2019, did you have some type of a connection to Myrtle Avenue in the city of Ansonia?
Yes.
And what was that connection?
My aunt lives there.
And where does she live?
6 Myrtle Ave.
And had you been to 6 Myrtle Avenue at times prior to this?
Yes.
Are you familiar with a house next door with the number 6.5 Myrtle Avenue?
Yes.
Now, can you find me the exhibit number for the side of the side view of Myrtle Avenue of the house? It would be early on. Now, with regard to, I wanted to call your attention to December the 1st of 2019. It was a Sunday. Do you recall whether you were on Myrtle Avenue on that date?
Yes, I was.
And were you with anyone else?
I was with my wife.
And what was the reason for being on Myrtle Avenue on December 1st of 2019?
I was going to move a freezer for my aunt.
Okay. And that was your aunt at 6 Myrtle Avenue?
Yes.
And do you recall approximately what time you arrived in the area?
I believe it was around 2 o'clock.
And do you know approximately what time you left the area?
Around 2:30, 2:45.
Now, when you were leaving the area at around 2:45, can you tell me whether you, when you left Myrtle Ave, when you left 6 Myrtle Avenue, where was your car parked?
In her driveway.
Okay. And did you walk to your car?
Yes.
And when you walked to your car, did you make any observations?
Yes.
What observation did you make?
So when we left out the back of her house, and you walk up her driveway, and as soon as you walk out the back, there's a red house next door, and there was a man standing in the corner.
Okay. And I'm sorry, where did you see him standing?
In the corner of the house by the garage.
Okay. And 1 second, Your Honor.
Sure.
It's an external picture. It's going to be the first one. That's it. Showing you what has previously been introduced as State Exhibit 6. And not offering it to you for the snow or any of that, but generally, does this appear to be the building that you're referencing?
Yes.
And can you just, with using your words, tell me where you saw the individual standing?
Yeah, looking at the picture, it's in the right-hand corner.
There's a door here, a window, and a door. Can you just,
To the right of the door.
which door?
The door on the right-hand side, not the, yep,
This door?
yep,
So somewhere over here?
yep.
The record reflects, Your Honor, at least in State's Exhibit 6, there is a door with a dark window towards the back part of the picture, and my highlighter is just showing to the right of that door.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Raleigh. And with regard to the observation that you made, can you tell us why your attention was called to that person standing there?
It was a very windy, cold day, and I think it was snowing or raining, and it was just odd that someone was standing there on his cell phone. It just didn't seem right.
Did you make any observations about the person's clothing?
I was just wearing a hoodie.
And at that time, is that the reason why you took notice of the person?
Yes.
Had you ever seen that person before?
No.
Did you, with regard to at least that moment in time, did you take any further action with regard to that individual?
No.
Did you climb in your car?
Yeah.
And what happened after that?
We went home.
All right. At some point in time, did you become aware of an incident that occurred on Myrtle Avenue the weekend that you had visited?
Yes.
And did you take any steps to contact the Ansonia Police Department?
Yeah.
What did you do?
I just called and told them what I saw.
Did they ask you to come to the Ansonia Police Department?
No, they actually came to me, I believe.
Okay. And when they came to you, did they ask you to do anything?
Yeah, they asked me to give a statement and then look at some photos.
Okay. Can you describe the process for us as the photos that you looked at?
Yeah, they just gave me individual photos one by one, and then once I went through them, I identified somebody and marked my photo.
Okay. As part of that process, no, just continue. 165 is full, Your Honor, with no objection from the defense.
No objection, please, Your Honor.
Thank you for making the record. Court accepts 165 in its full.
Showing you what has now been marked as States 165, Mr. Rowley, first of all, with regard to these documents, do you generally recognize, let's start with this page.
Yes.
And does this appear to be a document that was shown to you by the Ansonia Police Department?
Yes.
And does it state witness instructions regarding identification procedures?
Yep.
And that it occurred on December the 4th of 2019 at your home on Prindle Avenue?
Yes.
And did they ask you to read all of the instructions contained on this form before looking at the photographs?
Yes.
Then I think you indicated that you looked at each of the photographs. They gave them to you all at once or one at a time?
No, one at a time.
And after you went through the series of photographs the first time, did you go through it a second time or any additional time?
I'm not sure.
Okay. After going through and seeing all the photographs, did you tell them that you believed that you were able to identify one of the individuals?
Yes.
Showing you what has been, what is the third page, and I'm sorry, Your Honor, States 165 is a stapled 3-page document.
Thank you.
Showing you the third page of that document, is this the photograph that you stopped on?
Yes.
And what did you indicate to the Ansonia Police Department about this photo?
That's the man I saw standing in the corner of the garage.
Talking on the cell phone?
Yes.
And ultimately, did they ask you to place your name on this photograph?
Yes.
Do you see your signature there?
Yes.
And likewise, was it dated with this acknowledgement, with your acknowledgement that the photo contains the suspect?
Yes.
Did they then ask you, back on page 2 of this document, to sign this acknowledgement and statement with regard to the identification?
Yes.
The document says, I, Patrick Rowley, acknowledge the above instructions have been read to me by Detective Esposito, and I fully understand the instructions. I have viewed the photos and have identified number 7, and then under witness comments regarding identification, handwritten, saw man in photo on cell phone, stand in back right side, 90% sure on the photo. Is that what you told the police?
Yes.
Whose handwriting is that, do you know?
That's mine.
And did you subsequently then sign and print your name to this document?
Yes, I did.
Now, I realize it's 5.5 years since this time frame, Mr. Rowley, but as you look around the courtroom today, do you see the person that you saw on December the 1st of 2019 at approximately, I'm sorry, what time did you say it was approximately?
About 2:45, 2:30, 2:45.
Do you see that person presently here in the courtroom today?
Yes.
And would you please point to where you see them person seated and to physically describe what you see that person wearing?
Yep. Sitting over there, he's wearing a gray shirt, gray checkered shirt, gray and black.
And the record reflect that by pointing as well as by clothing description, he's identified the defendant, in this case Jose Morales.
The record shall so reflect. Thank you.
I have nothing further.
Can I have those, please? Yeah, both of them. Yeah, thanks. I'm Mr. Riley. How are you?
How you doing?
Let's put the picture up first. Your Honor, may I approach the witness and the OMO, please?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Great. Thanks for being here. So it's about almost 5.5 years ago since you had interaction with Detective Esposito. Is that correct?
Yep.
All right. So I want to make sure I'm going through your testimony accurately, and you correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
On Sunday, December 1st, in the area of around 2 o'clock, you went over to Denise Hunt's house. Is
Yes.
that correct?
Yep.
And tell the jury who Denise Hunt is,
She's my aunt.
right? And she lives at 6 Myrtle Avenue.
Yes.
Correct? And you had been to your aunt's house previously, correct? Mm-hmm. And you were with, I think it was your girlfriend at that point.
Yes.
Kristen Stahl, correct?
Caitlin.
Caitlin, I'm
Yep,
sorry,
that's okay.
Caitlin. My bad. Caitlin, and now she's your bride.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. And you were there to move a freezer, is that what you told
Yep.
us?
Yep.
Okay. And you weren't really there that long, is that correct?
No.
No? Okay. Your aunt lives up on the second floor, is that correct?
Yes.
Do you know who George O'Meara is?
Yes, I do.
Where does he live?
He lives on the first floor.
Okay, right? And 6 Myrtle and 6.5 Myrtle are adjoining properties, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, right. And so you got there at around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And forgive me, I know one of the photographs has snow. Was it snowing, raining, windy?
It was doing. I can't remember, but there was something. It was.
Okay.
That's why it made stand out. Someone was standing outside in the back. It was
Okay.
very odd.
I don't want you, if you're not sure, just let me know whether it was snowing or raining, but you're not sure at
Yeah.
that point.
Yep.
Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay. And you said that I think you said that you were upstairs moving the freezer, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And how long did it take to go ahead and do that?
About 20 minutes, half hour.
Okay, great. And were you swapping out a freezer? Or?
No, it was on the. I believe it was in the garage, and we just moved it up to her. Upstairs.
You carried it.
Yeah, me and my cousin.
Oh, there was somebody else there. Who else was there?
I believe my cousin,
What's your cousin's name?
Jeffrey
Jeffrey what?
Hunt.
I'm sorry.
Hunt.
Hunt. Okay. Wouldn't have been nice for your aunt to have you just alone carry the freezer from the garage up to the
No,
second floor,
no.
right? Okay. And how old is Jeffrey Hunt?
He's deceased. He's deceased.
He's deceased.
Yes.
Okay. And 5 years ago, approximately how old?
I'm not sure.
Okay. I mean, was he a teenager or
No,
was he
30s.
in his 30s?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. All right. And I'm sorry, I apologize. You said he's deceased.
Yes.
Is that correct? Okay. So you're at your aunt's. You have your future bride with you. You have your cousin with you. You go to the garage and you move this freezer up to the second floor, right?
Yep.
Okay. And that took a half hour or 45 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, great. And did you have to do anything else in the
No.
apartment that day?
No.
No? Okay. Mr. Mestry, could you show us, I think it's marked as Exhibit 6. Can you see that on the monitor in
Yes.
front of you? Okay, great. So we know, and I just want to be clear with you, that Exhibit 6, we're not claiming any of that snow was there. Okay?
Yeah.
Because the following day it snowed. So you said that you entered or exited, excuse me, let me start over. I think you testified that you left 6 Myrtle through the back, is
Yes.
that correct?
Yes.
And then you came around on the driveway that would have went down to Myrtle Avenue.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
The driveway sits parallel from this picture. You can see the car, where the car is in this picture. That's our driveway.
Okay, good. That's the sort of end in the bottom right-hand quadrant of Exhibit 6 is a car that would have been located
Yeah,
in the
that's where my aunt's driveway is.
Okay, great. And is that where you parked?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, okay, all right, we're doing fine. So you came around the back of 6 Myrtle towards the driveway. You would have got in your car in the driveway to back down to Myrtle Avenue. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, I always back in when I park, so I just would have pulled out. But yeah.
Okay, all right. So you backed in originally, and then you would have
Yes.
pulled out.
Yep.
Okay. Now let me just go slow here. When the three of you left your aunt's house,
Just me and my wife left.
okay, and Jeffrey Hunt stayed with
Yeah,
your
he
aunt.
lived there.
He lived there with your
Yes.
aunt. Okay, gotcha. All right. So, but he came there with you,
No.
or was he there already?
Yeah, he lives there.
Okay, sorry, I don't know, I don't know this. So when you and your bride-to-be arrived, he was already on site? Because
Yes.
he lived there?
Yes.
With your aunt that
Yes.
lived upstairs on the second floor?
Yes.
We're good?
Yes.
Okay, all right, great. So you and Caitlin went ahead and left after a half hour, 45 minutes. Is that correct?
Yes.
Great. And you come down the driveway, and you looked over to the area 6.5 Myrtle. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, it's when you come out of her backyard, it's right there. You come out of the gate and you're looking straight and you see that back corner.
Okay, great. And are you familiar with that property at all?
Yes.
Okay, you know there's a 3-car garage
Yes.
underneath the apartment?
Yes.
Yep. The monitor has to take it down, so just let me finish the question before you answer.
Okay.
I know you know the answer already. It's very difficult when we both speak at the same time.
Okay.
Thank you. And you're doing fine. Okay, so you leave, you're familiar with the property, you know there's a 3-car garage underneath 6.5 Myrtle Avenue, correct?
Yes.
All right. And then I think you told Attorney Stein that on the side of the property, there is a door, then a window, then another door. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you saw an individual over by the second door closest to the garage at the back of the house. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay. And you told Attorney Stein, correct me if I'm wrong, you had never seen that individual before.
No.
Right? How often back in 2019 did you visit your aunt's house?
I don't know. It depends. I do a lot of work at her house for her.
Okay. All right. So you were there on a regular basis?
I would say a regular basis is just if she needs something done, she calls me. I'm the go-to in the family.
Oh, okay. It's good to have a go-to.
That's right.
Right? Okay. So, I mean, would you see your aunt once a month, once a year?
Once a month, I would say is a good average.
Okay. Just an estimate, that's all.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you saw the individual at 6.5 Myrtle in the back, you told us you had never seen that individual before. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you didn't go down and approach and say, hey, hi, what are you doing here, or introduce
No.
yourself? There was no contact whatsoever between you and that individual.
No.
And what did you observe that individual doing?
He was on his cell phone.
Okay, all right. And then you got in the car.
Yep.
Okay, and Caitlin got in the car.
Yep.
So just tell us, when you came out the back of 6 Myrtle, you turned down the driveway, you looked over into the adjoining yard, you saw that person. How long did you look at them?
The time it takes you to, I opened the gate, held it for my wife, and then walked up the driveway. So 5-10 seconds.
Okay, and when you looked over across, did you just glance across for a second or two?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, it was quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Okay, and then you got in the car and didn't think anything of it.
No, I said to my wife, like, that was strange. Why was he standing there?
Okay, that somebody was there because you
Yeah.
didn't know who they were?
No.
You didn't know who the neighbors were?
Nope.
Okay, all right. And it didn't get to the point that you thought it was important, for example, to go confront the individual?
No.
Right? And, you certainly didn't go ahead and call the police and say, hey, there's something strange going on next door?
Nope.
No, you just went about your business?
Yep.
Checked off the moving the freezer chore,
Yep.
correct? Okay, okay. So you only saw the individual for a very brief period of time? Yeah?
Yep.
Correct? Okay, got in the car. Now, Peter, we're all done with that. Could you, Peter, could you put the next exhibit? That was Exhibit 6, Your Honor, for purposes of the record.
Thank you.
And Peter, what number is that?
165.
165, Your Honor. We're going to refer to Exhibit 165.
All right.
Okay, Peter, could you put the front page, the first page on there for me? Can you see that okay?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Now, it looks like you went ahead and you interacted with the Ansonia Police Department on the 4th. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And do you know who Detective Richard Esposito is, sir?
Yes.
Okay. Just tell us who's Richard Esposito.
It's the officer in the Ansonia Police Department.
Okay. All right. And that's who you had contact with. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So how was it that you came in contact with Officer Esposito? Did you reach out to the...
I called the Ansonia Police Department.
Okay. And what day, if you recall, did you call the Ansonia
I
Police
believe it was on Monday.
On Monday?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure on that.
Okay. And this was on Wednesday, the 4th, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So it was a couple of days had gone by? And did the detective actually come out to your house?
Yes.
Okay. You didn't go to the Ansonia
No.
PD? Okay. And I take you were cooperative with the officer?
Yes.
Correct? Okay. And Your Honor, if I may just come over here for a second. Excuse me.
Certainly.
You were given a form, and it's entitled Witness Instructions Identification Procedure Form, correct?
Yes.
And sir, in the top third of it, there was an agency case number. See that?
Yep.
And then there was a date on the 4th,
Yep.
and a time, that's military time, correct?
Yes.
Okay? And the location is 28 Prindle Avenue, Ansonia, Connecticut.
Yes.
Is that where you resided at that time?
Yes.
Okay, all right. And whose handwriting is that, if you recall?
I don't recall.
Okay. And I take it you had never filled out one of these forms before?
No.
Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, I'm just going to turn the page. The second page of the exhibit. Now, did you fill this out, sir, or
Yeah.
did the officer fill it out?
No, that's my handwriting.
It's your handwriting?
Yes.
Okay. So, Your Honor, just for the record, second page, top portion of the exhibit, it says, I, Patrick Rowley, acknowledge that the above instructions have been read to me by Detective Esposito, correct?
Yes.
Right? And I'm sorry if I asked you this, I apologize. Had you ever met Detective Esposito prior to that,
No.
or since?
No.
No, okay, one time, right? And you told us that he had shown you a series of photographs, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and you picked out one of the photographs, I think you said number 7, is that correct?
Yes.
Do you recall what the other photographs were of?
No.
In the handwriting portion, it says witness comments regarding identification. Do you see that, sir?
Yes.
Okay, in your handwriting, saw man in photo on cell phone, stand in back right side. Okay, was that referring to 6.5 Myrtle?
Yes.
Okay, and then you indicated 90% on the photo. Is that correct?
Yes.
Because you weren't 100% sure.
Yes.
You only saw the individual for a very short period of time, correct?
Yes.
Had never seen him before.
Nope.
Never seen him since,
Nope.
correct? Okay. So you were accurate with the police officer when you said to him, I can't say for 100% that that's the individual I saw.
Yep.
Thanks so much for your time. I have no other questions. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Any redirect?
Mr. Rowley, when you were looking at those photographs that the officer gave you, could you say generally, were the photographs of people similarly featured?
Yes.
Meaning, the photograph that you picked out shows a man with a big beard, hair. For instance, were there people in this array of African American descent?
No.
Were there people? I guess the question is that were you shown similarly featured people when you were being asked to look at these photos?
Yes.
And despite now being shown these photos, of all the photos that they showed you, you stopped on number 7.
Yes.
And that's when you indicated 90% certainty.
Yes.
And again, out of your own independent recollection, prior to coming into court, did you have an opportunity to review your paperwork that you provided to the police?
Yeah.
But as you sit here now, do you have an independent recollection of the man that you stated earlier? Is this the man you saw outside?
Yes.
I have nothing further.
No other questions. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.